That's a good question, man. Because they mean different things to me because at different times. You understand? It's not to me. It's not necessarily when you talk about the technique, you know, and the beat. You understand what I'm saying? Because when I make it, it's pretty much, you know, I might bump it for a while, and then it's like, okay, I'm in constant next mode, you know. But when the song finally comes out, you know, it's like, wow, they come at different times, and sometimes you might have made the beat a few years back. You understand what I'm saying? The conflict. But when the song is done, it's like, wow. Like for instance, like with Lloyd Banks, I'm not gonna sit here in front. Like I was on the brink of quitting. I was on to something else at that particular time. Like I wasn't even really, I made the beat years before he actually recorded the song. But at the time when it was getting ready to come out, I was contemplating taking the steps back, you know, taking a step back and just going off into something else. And then I get an email that he recorded, you know, that the song made the actual mixtape. You understand? So at that point, I would honestly say history. Just because of that right there, like, you know, I started doing beats in 2002, you know, and that's like, it's crazy. I'm definitely dating myself, but that's when I said, you know, this is when, you know, so to go from 2002 to 2016, you know, it's like, wow, you understand what I'm saying? Like, and to not even really, you know, to not have much success the way that you may have thought that you would have, you know, but the love was definitely still there. It's just that, you know, you get, you know, family, other things, you just move on in life that, and things just kind of, you know, you know how it is, man. But when that was a big surprise, man. That was a big surprise, and that pretty much was like, that slapped me in the face, like, yo, like, nah, like you need to keep doing this. You know what I'm saying? And Banks was a guy, you know, the fact that it was Lloyd Banks, you know, this is a guy that when I started doing beats, you know, I still remember first hearing Lloyd Banks. I remember when it was one of my guys, James Parker, one of my classmates who I originally started rapping with back in high school when we talking about the mic and whatnot. You know, this was one of the, we had a little group at the time, recorded a mixtape and everything. But I just remember going to his house, and around when 50 was obviously out, and he said, man, have you heard Lloyd Banks? And I wasn't privy to the mixtapes at that time. So I'm like, Lloyd Banks. I'm like, who's Lloyd Banks? I'm just getting familiar with who 50 Cent is, right? Because at this point, I'm on the West Coast. So I'm like, okay, who's Lloyd Banks? You know, he put the CD, played Victory for me. He like, now what, Banks is better? He's like, Banks is better. Banks is better than 50. I'm like, wait a second. You mean to tell there's a guy, I'm just, the guy that's selling 10 million, that's getting ready to sell 10 million, there's somebody better than him? You know, and so he plays it to me. He plays it for me, and you can definitely, anybody who hear Lloyd Banks, he's just a different animal. And it's just that being said, and but he's one of the guys, lyricists. I've always been big on lyricists, but Banks was one of those guys that we sat down and studied, listened to, you know, him along with others, and just, you know, what, 14 years later, you know what I'm saying, to be doing a record for him, you know, that's all I needed. You know what I'm saying? That was it. You know, that was the battery right there. There's nothing else that could stop me from doing, you know, being discouraged. That was a teachable moment, you know, for me. But I would say, like, you know, but other ones, you know, for different reasons, you know, but just that song, just for the simple fact that I was getting ready on the brink of quitting. Because just think, if I stopped then, there's no Slim and Mickens. Man, there's no Dave East and Votto. There's no Jay Prezi. At least, I mean, it's them. But as far as my contribution to their music, you know, and these are, you know, and this is music, you know, that I hold near and dear to my heart for different reasons. But yeah, man, that's the biggest one for me. I could sit here today and say history, 100%.
It's crazy. Like Chuck hit it, like, again, right on the nail on the head about talking about how certain records at those time periods, like what they do for you. And I love, like, you know, the story you're talking about history, how it revitalized and reassured him that his journey was correct and is correct. Like, one of I would probably say that project, like, I can't even really just say it, like, one song, the project Free Lunch, that I did with the Gons, which is like like my first official project where, you know, again,
that's the one with Cold as Snow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
all right.
So that it sparked a what you call it, like a actual fan base for me. And you know, I enjoy the project, like I love it, but I didn't realize it was gonna resonate with people to that degree. Like the record, like Cold as Snow, like I was just the chorus, like I was just playing around with the chorus, just trying to, like, you know, come up with something just catchy. But like I hear like people would come up to me and just start, damn baby, cold as snow. No. Bro, then, like you're singing the joint and
that was my shit.
Yo, and I got to have that first like really like rapper experience where like when I'm at shows, like I could put the mic down and people are singing the lyrics, and like it's just something like that just is just, yo, damn, like how could I say this? Like, you know, we talking Slim and Mickens. Shout out to my big homie Slim from the Circle. He had stated this line in the hits. He was like, yo, when you get off stage and people fuck with you and like what you doing, it's like, yo, that's the best pussy I ever got, getting off stage, right? Like it was like, and it's just like, cause it is like euphoric, orgasmic to that extent, like, and then just quoting that M line until it collapse. There's a certain feeling you get when you spit and people are feeling your shit. Like it's just like, yo, these are the things like that I experienced, and like that I was in my room and I was just penning these joints, and like, and I'm like, and this is my life, and this is like my little creative like double entendre, like triple entendre attempts, like to just showcase like, yo, witty, like and sometimes like, and legit, I'm not gonna hold you, bro, like I legit rap to impress myself, my nigga. That's why I can continue to always like rap, like, so like even when there's certain things where like yo, that record you did with like such and such was dope, like, yo, and then like they was like, you ever feel like somebody ever got you on the record? I was like, I don't know, I can't really say I feel that because I know what I said. Like I got the fortunate like to understand like the intricacies of like the what I put into that and the thought process and creativity of that. But just Free Lunch is like that project that just changed everything, because that's the reason why I was able to tour the Midwest. That was the reason why I was able to tour France. That was like that. When you start seeing sales on my Bandcamp from people from Germany, like Poland, and like all of these places like that, like my black ass never stepped foot in. And it's just like I'll tell you, like my biggest accomplishment too, like, all right, so we all like we come from the internet days of your Amish, your Kaza, like and all the LimeWire days, right?
Yeah. That's what
yo, bro. I was on one of my torrent sites. This is when torrents was still like was valid.
Right. Yeah.
I saw Free Lunch on the torrent site when I dropped it. I was like, nigga, I made it. They leaked out. I was like, yeah, nigga. I was like, yeah, niggas leaked my out. Like, it's just that what you call it? Just like, I guess that little accomplishment. It was like, yo, I'm still an indie artist, but like somebody cared to take the time. Like, I want to illegally put your music here, like, because I like your music. And
that's just a sign of somebody felt that much to say, you know what, somebody need to hear this. I'm gonna share this. You know what I'm saying? I might be doing something illegal right now. You understand? This music, it means that much, and I'm gonna put it out there. It's that great for whatever reason it may be. You understand what I'm saying? And I know that might be, a discrepancy with how other artists may feel when it comes to right? and all that. But it is what it is. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah. My fault. Nah, like, bro, that's straight up what it is. It's like, and then just like, I'll segue also to another record that like really resonates. It's the song off like this little mini project that I did called the Exodus Conf, and this song called Life Tempo. Now, Life Tempo is a song that I wrote about my cousin who was incarcerated, and one of my good friends who lived in my building, Dustin Brixton, who was gunned down and killed. and like, and that brought like the whole hood together, because like Dustin was just like, you know, cool, chill. It's always like they say, you know, like the good die young, right, and whatnot. But like,
yeah, I hate that. Man, like,
yo, straight up, bro. But I remember when I first performed that song, it was at the Delancey and LES 168 Delancey Street, New York, New York, F train to Delancey, J train to Essex Street, like for my New Yorkers, you know what I mean, and for people who ever went.
Right off the bridge.
That's a Factoria. Like, I was, it was some showcase I was rocking at, and this was in 2013. And I think this was like one of the showcases where I first met like my good brother Busy B. Now, I had a 2-song set, so I did Life Tempo, and I had like some other joint that I had. Like, it was more about like, it was just a more fun record. So I did Life Tempo. I was like, yo, I want to premiere a new record for y'all, and it was a packed room, and I just seen people go, yo, that shit hard. It was like, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the next record. Nah, do that again. Like that was crazy, because like, again, it came from such a real place that like, yo, that just hit me in a different capacity. And I remember like, it was I got noticed. Like, people was like, I was on a bus, somebody was like, yo, you Frank Knight, right? and this is me just, I was like, and then so my hood thing is kicking in. I was like, for what? like I was like, not yet, for what? So then it was like, yo, you can rap, my nigga. And I was like, I appreciate that. And then that shit, like, and then when I'm walking, I'm like, yo, niggas fuck with me. I like that. So then, like, and I remember watching another time when I did it, like, it was this woman, she was in the crowd, like, and it was white woman, bro. She was crying hearing that song. Like, she was like, it's just over. And just to hit, like, that, see, that's why, like, going back to what Chuck said, there's just certain things in certain moments. Like, that was pre-free lunch, though, but, like, just knowing that, like, my music could affect somebody like that, because, again, it made me like, music, like, I'm just a vessel, like, you know what I mean, that God just used creativity to flourish through, like, and I'm thankful for that, for as long as the well needs to provide that water. But like, just knowing that it can resonate and touch people to that extent, it's just like, yo, I mean, the word, like, that pays abundantly. Like, you can't put a price on that. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we still got a price if you're trying to book. But anywho, like, yeah. So, but still, like,
yeah, people
like, yeah, I'm grateful for, like, just for the art to be appreciated, which is why I always try to provide a platform for others to have their art appreciated. Because, like, this is therapy.